Wow, that is more like it. Oh my goodness. The Raptors defense in this game was stellar. From the get-go, for the rest of the game, the Raptors defense was on fire. You know, you start the game, the offense can't do anything. You only score 14 in the first quarter. However, you only hold them to 20, and you're only stuck 6 after 1. Second quarter, you hold them to only 13. The bench comes out and gives you the energy we have wanted forever, and they give it to you, and they give you the offense. Raptors score 29 in that quarter, and the Raptors have a nice 10-point lead at the half. Beautiful, but it's not over yet. You got to come out in the second half and establish your defensive prowess again. The Raptors scored only 24 in the third quarter. However, only 20 given up in the third. So, the Raptors through the first 2 quarters, through the first half, gave up a total of 33 points. The Raptors through 3 quarters gave up a total of 63 points. Where's the 53? 53 points. Those are scores you see with like 5 minutes to go in the first half, let alone after 3 quarters. And you give up 25 in the fourth quarter, but you score 29, and the Raptors win 96-78. Wow. Now, don't look at the offensive stats. Don't go, oh, the team only shot 44% and only 30% from 3. Okay, fine. But if you're looking at another stat, the Raptors only had 8 free throw attempts. They had 28. That's a big difference. And the Raptors still came away with it. Held the Celtics only 33% shooting from the field. Only 14% from 3. They only allowed three 3-point field goals. That's it. It was amazing. The rebounds, the Raptors were +5. The offensive glass, the Raptors were +4. The assist total, the Raptors were +13. They only had 10 assists. We had 23. I mean, just everything. 10 steals to their 7. 6 blocks to their 3. We only had 10 turnovers. They had 16. The Raptors dominated in just about every single category today, and I am proud of them. Serge Ibaka was great. He had 15 points, 6 rebounds, steal, a couple blocks, 7 of 13 shooting, and only 1 of 4 from 3. But his interior defense, and he was a +14 on the floor. Ibaka was amazing. We have not said that a lot lately, but he was. OG only played 11 minutes, but the energy he brought when he was out there, I thought he was all right. 4 points, 4 rebounds. 2 of those rebounds and all 4 points are on putback dunks. But I don't care. It's second chance points, cleaning up the garbage. Attaboy OG. JV only 4 points, 5 boards. He only played 13 minutes and he was a -1 on the floor. But Kyle Lowry, I gotta say, guys, as much as a lot of people were chirping him in the Cleveland game because of the whole going to see Villanova, you know, and then playing Cleveland the next night and just looking awful, as much as Lowry only had 13 points on 5 of 11 shooting and only 2 of 7 from 3, he gave you 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. The defense he brought, the intensity he brought. I understand he's not playing against Kyrie. He's not playing against Calderon. He's not playing against any of those types of guys. But what he did tonight was amazing. And a +20 on the floor for Kyle Lowry. DeMar DeRozan had 16 points on 6 of 17 shooting. 3 of 4 from 3. That's very nice to see for DeMar. As over the last little while, his 3-point shot has dried up significantly. But a +5 on the floor, 3 of 4 from 3. That's great to see. And my 2 player of the games in this one, DeLon Wright and Fred VanVleet, your 2 point guards. DeLon Wright can be, moved around a little bit, but that's where they really are. Yes, DeLon Wright only had 8 points. But he had 8 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and he was 4 of 9 shooting, and he was +19 on the floor. The active hands from DeLon Wright. The key to this team today, before I even break down Fred VanVleet. They weren't just settling for threes. The Raptors, yes, they took a total of 33 threes. That's a lot. But they had, at one point late in the game, 50 paint points. Why? They were driving and forcing the Celtics to guard them on the inside, which clearly was very difficult for them. You saw DeLon Wright drive, and if he didn't have a lane, he kicked it to somebody who drove and got who had a good look at the basket, right? Or they took a three. You know, it gives your team options. Drive, make the defense move. Don't be stagnant, pass around the outside, and then chuck up a three. It doesn't work that way. This team was terrific today. The defensive end, the ability to drive and move the ball, they were terrific. Yes, they weren't finishing all their shots. They only scored 96. But the defense is what kept them in the game. And this is a type of game that the Celtics, if they would play the Raptors, this is the type of game you'd see in the playoffs. One of these type of grinded out, rough, toughened games. Look, DeRozan and Lowry are not going to score 30 points on amazing shooting in the playoffs against Boston. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a grinded out game, and whoever steps up the most is going to win. And that's what we saw today. That's what we saw last time in Toronto. But in Boston, it was the opposite. Very interesting. Fred VanVleet, I'll get to him real quick. 15 points, 5 of 10 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3, plus 10 on the floor. And a guy, you know what? A guy who he played 17 minutes today, but really put a huge impact on the game. Lucas Nogueira. Only 6 points, 2 rebounds, and he had 2 steals. But when he was out there, he was out to 3 of 4 shooting. When he was out there, it gave this team another aspect. With Pirtle and JV, look, they're great players. But how long Lucas Nogueira is, it changes shots on the defensive end. You get a guy driving, and then you have, Lucas on the inside. They have to try and arc it over him, and it makes it a million times tougher of a shot. That's why in his 17 minutes, he was a plus 19 on the floor. Lucas Nogueira was amazing, and I think he might be a big factor in the playoffs moving forward. You want to have everybody ready. Norman Powell played today, 11 minutes, did make a shot, but he had 5 rebounds. He was 0 of 4 shooting, 0 of 4 from 3. Again, hard to get some rhythm. And CJ Miles, his struggles continue. Only 3 points in 15 minutes, 1 of 7 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3. But he was a plus 8 on the floor. He did move the ball a lot better than we've seen as of late. He's not just chucking up stupid shots. I mean, he was getting some good looks and wasn't making them. And that's something we got to look at moving forward. The positive is, with this win today, the Raptors are 3 games up on the Celtics, with, if I'm not mistaken, 4 games remaining in the regular season for both teams. You win your next game or 2, you're clinching a playoff spot. Clinching a playoff. We've already done that a mile ago. You're clinching the first seed in the Eastern Conference. That's what we've wanted. Tonight was the big one, and they got the job done. They played great. I don't care about the offensive efficiency today, because today was all about defense, and they showed it. And they showed up offensively enough to get the victory. I'm proud of these guys. They worked their tail off. On the defensive end, on the offensive end, they worked their tail off. You know what you're going to get defensively when it comes to Boston. They're going to be a rough and tough defensive team, but it's what you do to counteract that. Raptors were that much tougher, and they got the job done. I'm proud of these guys. That's the last thing I'm going to say about that. So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoy this video, and you guys enjoy this game, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of this game. Who's your player of the game? Would you give it to Freddie VanVleet? Would you give it to Siakam? Would you give it to DeLon Wright? Would you give it to, Lowry or DeRozan? Would you give it to Serge Ibaka? Who would you give it to in this one? Because I thought a lot of guys had really, really good defensive games in this one. Hear what you guys have to say, and we'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you guys Tuesday podcast edition, Leafs, Raps, Jays. You guys know what it is. Link in the description for the podcast channel and the podcast itself on iTunes. Please go check that out.
We'll be doing that next Monday. I think I said Tuesday, so it'll be next Monday. I won't be able to do it on Tuesday. So this coming Monday, the podcast will be uploaded to you guys that afternoon. We'll talk to you guys Leafs edition tomorrow as they take on the New Jersey Devils in New Jersey. As the Leafs look to win their second straight, kind of get some mojo heading into the playoffs. Good news, Travis Dermott looks like he's getting healthy real quick. He might even play against Montreal in the last game of the season. You want to get him maybe into one game to get his legs back heading into the playoffs, but you don't want to rush him too much as well. That's great news there. We'll talk to you guys, Jays edition. That'll be Friday, as the Jays take on the Texas Rangers down in Arlington. Matt Moore taking on Marco Estrada, 8:05 first pitch down there. Jays look to get back in the win column after the tough loss today, but they still won the series against the White Sox. Look to start off the next series, the road trip, the 9-game road trip, on the right note with a win in Arlington against the Texas Rangers. And we'll talk to you guys Raptors edition. Like we've said, well, actually I haven't said it yet because I want to keep you guys a little guessing here. Friday night, 7:30 tip-off at the Air Canada Center. Indiana Pacers, another good team at the Air Canada Center, taking on the Raptors, looking for their second straight win, and just to get some mojo heading into the playoffs, because that's what you want, and maybe get CJ Miles going against his former team. We'll talk to you guys then.